I ran multiple oil changes with 0W20 as required for my 3.0 Duramax diesel. Then I went to 5W30, did 2 oil changes with that. Then I went to Mobil 1, 0W30, 2 oil changes with that. I have the oil analysis of each. We're gonna go over the oil analysis numbers and what I saw with the trends on my truck, which is a 2024 Silverado 1500 ZR2 with the 3.0 Duramax diesel. That is the LZ0. Now over there, I also have the Duramax news article pulled up where I have some old samples of my prior truck that show AC Delco 0W20. So we're gonna go ahead and compare those results in there, but there's some misleading numbers in there, which we're going to discuss, but we're gonna start off right here. So now looking at my oil samples, number 3 on my chart here is actually the Dexos D approved 0W20 Mobil 1. If you wanna retain your factory warranty and do everything as the owner's manual says, this 0W20 is an excellent value. I usually pick this up at Walmart. Good price compared to all the other oils, plus it's an excellent oil. Now, what I did not like about it was my iron numbers were actually a little bit higher than I would like. So what I did was I went to a 5W30, which is this Pennzoil Euro L full synthetic right here that we have. Now, it did have the Dexos 2 approved icon on there, and it no longer has that on the newer bottles. Just wanted to point that out. Now I did 2 of those oil changes, and my second one was this number 5. So we'll get into the details of that. Now oil sample number 7 was when I switched over to this 0W30 Mobil 1 ESP. I actually switched over on oil analysis number 6, but we are going to be comparing oil analysis 7 to 5, as well as a little bit of 3, just so that way we have a little base number to compare the 0W20. Now, I'm not trying to say that I am an oil expert. I learn a lot from Lake Speed, and I'm able to apply that to my oil analysis on here. So shout out to Lake Speed. If you're wanting to learn about engine oil or anything related to it, follow his channel. I highly suggest it. I do. Big fan. So what I'm gonna do right now is break down my oil analysis numbers that I got on my samples, and then we're going to compare it. Now, first of all, we're going to start off with number 5. I show 36 ppm for iron, and that's over the course of 4,866 miles. Now, my other oil analysis for the Mobil 1 is 4,900 miles. Now, these are very close to the same mileage range, so these samples should be fun to compare to. Now, again, this is just for fun. This is the trends on my truck, so please take this for what it is, but I'm just trying to share what I saw on this. So again, sample 5 is the Pennzoil 5W30. The Mobil 1 0W30 is sample number 7. I also want to point out that sample number 7 was taken during the winter time, and I did a remote start every single day that I ran that engine oil. So we had idle time, and I was looking for greater iron numbers to see if there were any changes in there, any fuel dilution. And as we go through this, you're actually gonna notice that, in my opinion, there were no negatives with me remote starting and allowing the vehicle to warm up while idling in the driveway. So I just wanna point that out. The other thing is during sample 7, I ran a S&B intake on there, which is the oiled air intake, and I noticed no change in silicon. So I'm just pointing that out, that it seemed to be working all right with this one use on there. Sample number 5 came in at 36 ppm for the Pennzoil 5W30, and that came out to 7.4 ppm per 1,000 miles. The ppm means parts per million. Now, sample 7, which is the Mobil 1 0W30, that came in at 32 ppm, which puts us at 6.53 ppm per 1,000 miles. So we did see a better trend on the Mobil 1 0W30. Like I said, this was the second oil change because number 6 was the very first one. Now, comparing that to sample number 3, which is our 0W20, we could see a significant drop in iron numbers on there. Now, moving over to aluminum, this caught my eye because the 5W30 was only showing 3 when we had it skyrocketed up to 8 for the Mobil 1 0W30. But if we go back and we look at sample number 3, the aluminum was also a little high. So I don't know exactly why my aluminum was a little bit high. Are we getting a little bit of extra wear in regards to the aluminum? I don't think so, because we're not seeing any change in iron. Is this just something to do with the oil? Does it have better cleaning abilities? Does it grab onto iron or aluminum a little bit better so it carries it through the oil? I'm not sure. 8 is not a high number in my research, so I'm not concerned with that. But in this case, I would tend to watch the trend. So what I should have done was go with another oil change of the Mobil 1 0W30. But at this point, we've moved on to MOTUL, which is going to be a video for the future. We're going to go over to the Moly. Now, 5W30 only had 4 Moly when the Mobil 1 has 77. So you can see that it's 2 different mixtures of how they formulate this engine oil. So moving over to the boron, we have a reading of 63 versus 189. Now, boron is commonly used as part of a detergent, a dispersant, or anti-wear chemistry. Now, Mobil 1 having much more boron, again, shows a different additive strategy, and boron can help with deposit control and wear protection, but like Moly, it is part of the full formula. Now, when we're comparing the magnesium and the calcium, we can see that the magnesium, there's a big difference. Calcium and magnesium are detergent additives. Their job is to help neutralize acids, keep deposits controlled, and support oil cleanliness. Sample 5 has more calcium. Sample 7 has slightly less calcium, but much more moly and boron. That does not mean one is automatically better. It just means that the oils are built differently. Moving on to the zinc, we've got 851 versus 893. Now, zinc is usually part of ZDP, an anti-wear additive. It is generally good for engine wear protection, especially under high pressure contact areas. But too much zinc and phosphorus can be bad for emission systems over time, especially catalysts and after treatment. So for a diesel with a DPF like we have, you do not want to chase more zinc is always better. You want the oil to meet the correct spec. So to put it simply, zinc is good for wear protection, but the wrong additive package balance can be bad for emissions equipment. So this is one where we're riding a little bit of a line there, and we have to trust the manufacturers on this. So if we look at sample 3, which is Dexos D approved, and we look at the zinc on there, we can see that the zinc number is actually higher with the 0W20, so that tells us that we are in a good area for zinc. At least that's my opinion. Now, one of the biggest issues with the diesel and engine oil is the soot. This is something that you definitely don't want traveling through your engine oil. That's why I always preach that it is very important to keep a clean oil in there. I prefer earlier oil changes rather than extending oil changes because you want to get that soot out as soon as possible. Now, the 5W30 showed 0.5% with the soot, while the 0W30 showed 0.6%. Both those numbers are extremely good. I am A-okay. And since we're on the topic of soot, I also want to point out that the oil filter used during these tests was the PPE engine oil filter, which is found at demonworkshop.com. But this is the oil filter that I love. You can add a little bit of extra oil, so you're just over 7 quarts with that. Now, moving on to the viscosity, we can see the 0W20 is sitting at 7.9 centistokes when the 30 weight oils, the 5W30 and the 0W30, are all the way up to 11.3. So in my opinion, these are going to be better when it comes to the high temperatures, when you're towing across the desert and it's super hot. The higher viscosity is going to be able to take care of that heat a little bit better and not break down so quick. And speaking of breaking down, we're going into the base number, the D4739. And in my research, higher means more reserve remains. So we have sample 5 coming at 4.11, while sample 7 is 3.61, which tells us that the reserve is actually going down a little bit quicker with the 0W30. That means Mobil 1 had a little less reserve left at the end of the run. It is a difference, but I would not call it huge. Sample 7 had more winter idle time and slightly more soot, so it makes sense that the base reserve was consumed a little more. Now, why that matters is because when base number gets too low, the oil has less ability to neutralize acids and protect against corrosion. So I would not be concerned with the 3.61, but I would not push that oil much further without more trend data. So I'm happy that I pulled it out when I did, because we are looking A-okay with that number still. Now, which engine oil is the best? I cannot answer that because both of these engine oils actually produce very, very good results. And I would not be fearful of running either one of these, as you can see, because I have run them in there. So in my opinion, this is going to come down to the price and availability of each. I actually have like 4 of these bottles sitting around and 4 of these bottles sitting around. So we will continue to use those. Right now, I'm currently using MOTUL in the truck, and we're going to be doing the same tests within the MOTUL 5W30. So I'm really excited for that. Now, this 0W20, this showed good results on here. I have nothing to really complain about. The viscosity is a little bit lower, but our iron is also a little bit higher. I would like less iron showing in these samples, But like I said, I would not be fearful of running this 0W20 with a Dexos D on there. Not at all. And speaking of running 0W20, I also have a test that I ran on my prior truck, which we're going to show right here. And this truck had 24,000 miles on it. I ran this engine oil for 7,700 miles, and you look at the iron number and it shows 42. But before we jump to too many conclusions on there, I want to point out that with this truck, I was running the PPE engine oil pan, and that was allowing me to have an additional 2 quarts, plus I was using the PPE engine oil filter. So in this case, I had a lot more oil going through there, so all the iron, other contamination going through the engine oil actually had more of a capacity to flow through. So that's what's going to show us with these numbers. If I had the stock engine oil pan on there, I'm sure these numbers would be much, much higher. So I just wanted to point that out so that way there's a better understanding of that. Now, hopefully this helps you out on deciding what engine oil to use. If you want to venture off into a 30 weight, do it at your own risk. I highly recommend you get your oil analyzed and do it multiple times. That way you can see the trends. In my case, I was able to see what 0W20 looked like. I did not like the iron numbers that were showing, so I moved into a 30 weight and I've continued to test those, and I'm very happy with those results, and we will continue testing 30 weight with this truck going forward.